Hello, y'all. Hello. What is up? Y'all thought you had enough of me. Not only did we do our general weekly for the earth signs, we did the air signs for the month of December. We did an afternoon live stream. And now we're doing an evening live stream. Probably going to be doing more recordings tonight because why not? How are y'all doing? Hello, Keisha. Hello, Jacqueline. How are y'all? All right. Let me. Good afternoon from Australia. Hello, Miss A. Something, patiently waiting. Sarah, it's part of your nighttime routine now. Yeah, this is just started becoming my nighttime routine as well. I'm starting to consider, even after, um, Vlogmas. It's so weird to call this Vlogmas, but, you know, I can't think of any other way to do Vlogmas other than doing vlogs, but this is a tarot channel, right? Granted, once I have, like, my own place for sure when I'm not renting a room, and I have, like, my own apartment, baby, we'd be doing a lot more. Y'all think you see enough of me right now. We'd be doing constant uploads, doing all sorts of things. All right, first of all, why don't I have music playing? Let me fix that first and foremost. All right. Thank you. I'm doing all right. I got some iffy news earlier, but I'm not letting it. Um, I'm taking news a lot, but at this point, I'm kind of starting to take everything in stride, right? It's all you can really do. Overall, though, I'm doing pretty good, right? Other than that small hiccup, which that small hiccup's not going to affect my day, because like my favorite day of the week is Mondays. I know everyone does not like Mondays like at all, but for me, I really enjoy a Monday, just for the fact that like Monday is like the start of like a whole new week. And if you start your week strong, you start Monday your strongest, like being like your happiest and like doing the most and what have you. It doesn't really matter um, how the rest of the week dwindles to be, assuming it dwindles, right? It doesn't matter how much as much for the rest of your week, just because it's like when you have that good Monday, like you can't really beat that. Like no matter what else, it's just like, well, at least we had a good week start of the week, right? Readings now. I'm posting on my Twitter. Hi, Brandy. You love my energy. I appreciate that. Hi, Caroline. But yeah, as I was saying, I was thinking about doing some live, like, even after December. At some point, I want to incorporate doing either, like, daily live streams for the Zodiacs, or doing daily, yeah, or just doing, like, a daily, just, because there have been, like, random times, you guys, where it's like I feel drawn. I know it's not some unique idea, but there are times like when kind of like how for those who aren't new to my stream, we'll set up my like I will close the stream off by doing like a general reading for just y'all, right? So I thought about starting to just randomly doing uploads of that for people that feel called to them just at random times, but I don't know. We have to see. We have to like. There's so many. I'm pretty sure I hit the over 100 video benchmark now for the past 30 days on my channel. What kind of readings am I doing tonight? Just kind of like whatever readings, Jacqueline. If there's like a zodiac sign, like trying to figure out his, like I know his and hers is a really popular thing. I might just focus on those if you guys are interested in like a specific zodiac sign, person, their zodiac sign or whatever. I can give insight on that because I'm gonna be honest. Hey, T with Monday. I'm gonna be honest. I'm feeling kind of after all the readings I've been doing today, I'm feeling kind of don't feel like pulling a bunch of cards, right? Or going just too in depth with general readings. Does it feel different doing a reading via the internet, face to face? Uh, for me, not really, because, well, I guess this depends, because it's like the type of readings I do for YouTube is different than the type of readings that I'll do for my private readings, and different than the readings I'll do in person, because um, even though like I use tarot as a way to, I kind of use tarot more so in the way of, um, in a way of being like using my outlet for whatever it is that I'm like intuitively feeling and hearing through my spirit guides and all that I work with. So for me, it's not so much the tarot cards themselves that are relaying the message as much as like using it to be the appropriate vessel to like add some structure to the messages that I'm giving. Does that make sense? So when I'm doing a reading in face with someone, my approach to it's a little bit different just because I'm doing a reading face to face. I normally know the person on some level. So the dynamic of that is already just a little bit different. I usually don't like doing readings with people in person just because of that reason. If I know them, I don't really like doing too many readings just off of that fact, though I still end up giving readings to my friends. Anyways, but husband and I are both Taurus, and you'd love to have a reading for our energy if you feel called. How do I have golden hour glow? It's because of honestly, you guys, something that probably not a lot of, well, I think some YouTubers talk about it, but it's just like people do not consider how much good, like, this is not good lighting, but like an umbrella light, like a source of lighting that just actually like illuminates your face, makes you just look a lot more attractive than you actually are. Well, than you feel like you are, I guess I'll say. Like between the camera and the lighting, I promise you, like if you got up close with me, I'd be looking a little. Listen to me try to convince you guys to be like, no, I'm not attractive, you guys. Like I'm trying so hard for you guys to not give me a compliment. Hello. But no, honestly, like, not to say that I think I'm unattractive. I don't think I'm attractive or unattractive. I like to say I'm interesting looking, but genuinely, like, 120%, you guys, like, anyone that's behind a camera, like, and plus with like an umbrella light, give me a couple umbrella lights. Like in my videos, I have 2 umbrella lights going on. Like, honey, I look so much better in videos than I actually do. I promise you. Aside from alcohol, have I experimented with any drugs? Um, uh, yes. So I'm the type of person that's always like for most things, I'll like try it once and then kind of be done with it. I kind of like to have like the experience of it. So, I mean, I've done weed, I did acid once with someone that I was in a cult with at one point. I wouldn't, I did acid once. I did mushrooms a couple of times, but I've never had like a spiritual experience with either of them. And that's the most I've ever done drug wise. But yeah, I've like, when it comes to me personally, when it comes to like, I know people use psychedelics or marijuana for their spiritual experiences, and I've just not had that personally. Like, I find the experiences that I had on them rather were just not spiritual, I guess. Like, yeah, I was seeing stuff, I guess, but it wasn't, I don't know. For me personally, I can always kind of tell if something is spiritually charged, whether it's in my dreams or what have you. So everything that I was receiving while under the influence of like mushrooms, for example, I never associated it with anything spiritual. Hello, Horlock, how are you? Do I have any ritual or advice to calm anxiety? Uh, so for me, when it comes to anxiety, um, it's one of those things of where I am a logical person, so I will break things down logically. I know it's not really spiritually charged in the take antihistamine, yeah. Um, so I know it's not really like a spiritual answer, but because like how my brain works, I approach everything logically. So because of that, if I'm feeling anxious about something, which I used to be extremely anxious, I still deal with anxiety now. Hi Slate, how are you? Um, but I will always just break things down logically to the point of being like, okay, if I'm feeling anxious about, I can't think of an example right now, but whatever. I've never gotten anxious over a live stream, but if I'm feeling anxious about a live stream, then I will go deeper with it and be like, okay, why am I feeling anxious? And then from there, it's just like if I'm feeling anxious because don't want people to think that I'm ugly, or feeling anxious because I feel like I'm not going to perform in. Hello? Can y'all see me? I just like watched my phone. We're good still? Okay. I was just like, my phone like randomly, hello IDK. My phone randomly just like had a moment. I was just like watching it go down. Um, am I an air or water sign? I get an air and water. I am a both. I almost said I'm a Scorpio. I am a Libra Scorpio. So my birthday's on the 20th. I used to play when um I got my highest rating when I had nails longer than this. I haven't played WoW like in a long time, but like when I played WoW and did arena and was competing for rank ones, I had nails probably like double this length. I had claws. Of course I noticed you. But yeah, I'm a Libra Scorpio cusp. I'm October 20th, so um that's like another series I wanted to do. I wanted to do um add in Libra Scorpio into my repertoire. I mean, not Libra Scorpio. I mean, I guess Libra Scorpio, but the cusps into my weekly uploads. But oh, hello, Rustin. How are you? Okay. Infamous Red Bull, y'all. How did I get into card readings? So I got into them a little over 10 years ago. My tarot, I go to a psychic. I've been going to the same psychic since I was like 12 or 13, and she always said that she saw me doing the same thing she was doing tarot. Back then I was just like, girl, like what are you talking about? Like, no. I didn't even do tarot when I was like 13. I started doing tarot in high school, literally with this, not this exact deck. I have my actual deck that I took in high school, but it was this deck, this style, the other old ones back in my closet. But I had this deck, and I used to have a purse back then. I was a lot more flamboyant. And then I would just like be popping it in the middle of classes, doing spreads, and be like, "Who wants a reading, sis?" Like, be popping out cards with me, you know. And I started really exploring it during my time in a cult, when I was in a cult for a couple years. And so that was like my first experience that's what like motivated me to get the tarot deck in the first place. So I got like my refinement through high school and through being in the cult, and I've just kind of carried that with me. And it wasn't until like I didn't even remember her telling me that I was doing tarot, like she saw me doing tarot for a living, like my psychic did, until like long after I was started doing it professionally. And I was like, wait a minute, she said this before. Because I still have all my readings saved by her. Blueberry Red Bull. I like, I don't know if I've had the blueberry one, but I've had the orange one, the tangerine one. The tangerine Red Bull is good. Virgo Libra cusp with the Capricorn rising. That's a good combo, I feel, Virgo Libra. Yeah, that's... Hello, Unique, how are you? I think no, you didn't tell me your name was... I don't think you ever told me your name, Unique. Is there anything that got me into spirituality in the cult? So, I originally got into spirituality... I started, more so I started having spiritual experiences when I was... I want to say like 9 or 10. I think like 9 or 10, around that age range. And I started started connecting to different beings at that point. I had a couple astral projections experiences. I had all these experiences, but I didn't have a word for it because I was still like during the time, like that was like a still earlier on and during the internet. So during that time, I was just having these experiences, but also being like a gay little boy as well. But like, I don't know why, but like, I always had like an awareness of like what not to like tell people. Like, I knew what would be perceived as weird, so I never I always just had like a hyper awareness for no reason of like knowing what to say and what not to say. But I ended up joining a cult unintentionally because I didn't know there was a cult, because when the internet started catching up more and I discovered like spiritual communities, I came into spirituality with being doughy eyed, where I just assumed everyone just wanted to grow spiritually together and we're just sharing experiences and learning from one another. In reality, there's just a lot of ego, a lot of backstab, just a lot of buffoonery. And that's honestly probably what's developed my just extremely balanced view. I like to see it as extremely balanced now when it comes to spirituality, because it's like I've just seen all sorts of eccentric people from like behind the curtain, behind the scenes of things, and it's just like like these people that will put themselves on these high pedestals as spiritual like gurus, like being prophetic and whatever title that they want to put to themselves. Behind that curtain, behind that little facade, they're just as insecure, they're just as unsure about themselves as any other normal person. The only difference is that they chose to function off of ego in some type of way, right? And so it was through that experience in the cult and other various experiences that I realized it's just not to take things so seriously. When it comes to spirituality, it's just like you're not ever going to prove to someone your spiritual path, and you have to learn to be okay with people not like believing in the same thing that you believe in and not taking it personally, right? Because it's very easy to take spirituality personally when it's just like if you don't believe in the same thing, in a way it's almost like inadvertently saying it's like they don't believe in what it is that you're practicing. But I don't know, like I don't even know like the proper wording or the way to go about it, but it is just like one of those things is where it's like I may not resonate with something that you practice, but I also can still believe that you believe in it and give you the respect of being like, okay, let me give the individual the benefit of the doubt of being like, okay, even if it doesn't make sense to me, what like let me give the least I can do is give them the benefit of the doubt of like hearing their side of things and trying to understand from their point of view. I'm a medium. I mean, I guess so. I've never really put much of any title towards me, but whenever I do like private readings, I always incorporate astral projecting in my readings. Because that's just the basis of my spiritual foundation. So it's like the beings that I work with, the deities that I work with, everything that I do is based off of astral projecting. So because I still have to, there's a level of faith that I practice, but there's also like the energy, if I'm connecting to something, especially offering it as a service, I need to be able to see it and experience it to my face so I can truly just let myself go of it. So with that, I will connect to people's spirit guides during like paid readings and all that. It's just like so yeah, but I would say the base of my foundation is like I've had the most experience with connecting with spirit guides, archangel, like the whole, when it comes to connecting with entities, that's like the majority of my experience. And tarot's kind of like influenced based off of that as well, because I work with specific entities when it comes to doing readings as well. Do I read auras? I get a pink and purple aura vibe off of you. It's funny you say that. Purple is something that's always been around me. Auras, I've never really put too much focus into trying to read for people, just because I mean, in my view, there's so many things that could influence someone's aura, and plus I'm colorblind, so I don't actually see colors as well as I could until like it's funny, like I know I'm for a I know for a fact I'm colorblind just from experiencing it, right? But I also could see like let's see an example. So I could take Let's see. I could take this palette here. I could take like this palette here, and if I had it open when I was astral projecting and I looked at this palette, I would see the actual colors that they actually are. Like right now, these colors, some of these colors look the same to me, but when I'm astral projecting, I can literally see like like what they're supposed to be looking like. So it's those small things that help me believe in whatever it is that I'm believing in, because it's one of those, it's one of those affirming things. Like you can't um, discredit it, right? So I feel like that's part of why I have such a release in terms of like my spirituality, and just such a comfort in what it is that I do, and I don't have any insecurity about it, because it's like anything that I do, it's functioning off of kind of like that. I need to move. That looks so tacky. It's functioned off of like something of like that I've at least experienced, where I can be like, okay, like this is real, right? I mean, I obviously can't prove to you like the difference between the colors that I see in it, but it's like with myself, I'm just like, I'm so sure of it and of myself. What's the biggest advice you can give right now? For what? Here, y'all want listen. Y'all, I do honestly need a Red Bull fund. The amount of money I make it sound like I spent a lot, but the amount of money I've bought in with the amount of, hello, I cannot speak. Apparently do not need any more energy drink, but the amount of money I've spent on energy drinks in the past few weeks with the amount of uploads I've been doing. So, for anything advice for like the biggest lesson. I mean, biggest lesson. I mean, I guess this is spiritual lesson or life lesson. I want to do both. Can I do both? I can do both. Can I also have some chapstick as well? Let's do both, right? Um, spiritual lesson. Huh. Spiritual lesson, I would say the biggest thing that I learned is that someone else's experience is not any better than yours. That's what I'll say. The biggest gift that I gave myself was realizing that we're all the same. I don't care who you are. Let's just use tarot readers as an example, right? I have Tyler's tarot on my YouTube right now because I enjoy Tyler's tarot. I enjoy his personality, right? He has like 450,000 subscribers. Um, there's like I don't think he's any better than me anymore, whatever. Like the way he reads cards, I don't feel like it's, I mean, obviously we read tarot cards differently, but I don't see spirituality in terms of like a skill thing. I see spirituality in terms of like the more comfortable that you are with yourself, the more in tune that you are with yourself without insecurity coming in to filter it, the more fulfilled you're going to feel, the sense of release is enormous. The sense of release and not feeling like you have to compare yourself to another person, the sense of release that you feel like you're not living up to someone else's standards spiritually, it removes such a blockage that you aren't aware is there, that just allows so much more to come through. Like tarot I've been doing for over 10 years, but it wasn't until um really the last year that I finally accepted myself fully in like the way that I do tarot, and feeling being able to be like, okay, just because I respect these other tarot readers so much, or even like my psychic, right? The psychic I've gone to since I was 12. Just because like I like think the world of them, and like think of them, see them as talented, that doesn't like in a way that doesn't stop me from being just as talented, because I genuinely feel like we're all talented in our own right. It's just a matter of who's more comfortable in being able to express what it is in the messages that they get outwardly. Does that make sense? Like, I think all of our experiences are fantastic. It's just some of us are more okay with sharing them and not feeling insecure about that. So that's my biggest spiritual lesson. Like that's like the biggest release that I ever had for myself. Yeah, Tyler's tarot. I enjoy him so much. Tyler's tarot. Hello, Arsa. Hello, M. Tyler's tarot is such a. I enjoy his. I honestly, with Tyler's tarot, if we're gonna get real talk, I really Tyler's tarot. Tyler is someone I really want to just like give a hug to, because I think he said it in some of his videos before, where he's like he has like abandonment issues and stuff, and it's just like I can't imagine what it's like in his perspective to just get like the, I mean, with the amount of traffic that he gets to his stuff, like it has to be kind of overwhelming, and like obviously there does come hate. Hello, lady B. Yeah, I do watch Stargirl as well, but it always like bums me out to see like any like all Stargirl's the same, where it's just like it feels as if like some like it breaks my heart when readers, tarot readers or whatever, zodiac readers, like they will play themselves down, and you can tell like the comments will eat at them, and I think part of it is because of like a, not calling them insecure in their path or anything like that, but it's like you can tell because of like the comments that they get, it like kind of like eats away at their soul a little bit. And with like Tyler, I really just want to give him a hug. Same with Stargirl. I know she's going through something right now too. I just really want to give them both a hug and just be able to just like, I don't know. Those are like two people I just want to like squeeze and hug them and like help heal them, because it just like I can tell like they enjoy really what it is that they do, but it's just like I can tell like um some comments get to them or something like gets to them, and it like bums me out because I wish they didn't. I wish it didn't, because it's like I remember what it used to be like being in that remember, as if I had thousands of people comment to criticize me, but more so in like in the sense of where it's like I remember how it used to feel being so, I guess it's more so, and I'm speaking more so I guess in Tyler's sense, and keep in mind I could be speaking so out of pocket, but it's like I used to be so insanely insecure, and so I can see some of the behaviors that Tyler does, and I'm not saying they're good or bad, and I don't have an opinion on it, but it's like I can recognize some of the behaviors and mannerisms and stuff that he does that I used to do back when I was insanely insecure about a large number of things. And so because I can identify that, it's like, oh, I see you here. Like, let me make you feel better about it. I don't need to talk to you about it, but let me just like be around you and make you feel better and make you feel more comfortable. So that's really why it is. I know it sounds like super condescending or insulting, but it's more so like I recognize that it's more like I can recognize his pain, I can recognize Stargirl's pain, and like what it is that they're going through my own experience, and I want to be able to like make them feel better about it. I guess somehow just by giving them a hug, I think is going to somehow heal them, I guess. Hi, Jack. Hello, Shauna. Shanna or Shauna? See, yeah, that's exactly it. Once you get to that level of not caring, it's so freeing in that sense. It's so freeing in the sense of where it's just like, you don't, like, it's just not that serious, man. Hello, Foxy. Shayna. Shayna. Yeah. So that's like a long-winded explanation for like the biggest spiritual lesson. The biggest life lesson that I've had is, oh, have I lived a life? But I feel like we all could say that. I would say the biggest life lesson that I've had is don't expect other people to respect boundaries that you haven't firmly set. Because for someone like me, I don't know if it's like I don't see myself as codependent anymore. But for someone like me, because like I always functioned off of, and I still do, of where it's like am overtly considerate towards anyone that I'm around. So it's just like I don't care who it is I'm talking to, because I can like, because I came from a really dark place, like of pain, hurt, insecurity, whatever. I'm hyper aware of like people's body languages, how they sit, how they like. I can tell like the minute things, because I used to be so in my head, and I would do such subtle things that you wouldn't even think about, that no one thinks anyone pays attention to, but I pay attention to it because I used to do that, and so I used to always, like, and I still do, function in a way where it's like I'm overcompensating for that. So I always want people to feel as comfortable as possible. So I always will identify where, like, what is making someone uncomfortable, how I can make them feel better, even through subtle things. And I kind of functioned off of assuming everyone would want to just help other people in that way, where everyone's thoughtful towards one another. And it's just not the case. It's not the case to expect you out of other people. um, while you may feel like it's the right thing to do, in their perspective, it isn't, right? And so you have to be the one to set the boundaries and be okay with setting boundaries and not allowing it to feel, not feeling guilty for setting boundaries, because end of the day, people will try to make you feel bad about boundaries, but as long as you know in yourself that you're setting boundaries just out of respect for yourself and without the intention of like upsetting somebody, no one should be upset by you setting a boundary. That's really what it is. And if someone's upset by you setting a boundary, that's a red flag. That's a red flag 120%, because it's like at the end of the day, let's break it down. You're setting up a boundary just so you can feel more comfortable in the relationship. If that makes someone uncomfortable, that you want to be more comfortable in that relationship by just having your space be respected, that is not a person you want to be around, point blank, period. Like, I don't care if they're Mother Teresa. If Mother Teresa cannot respect your personal boundaries, she is just not the one for you. It doesn't matter how good or how perceived bad this individual is. If someone cannot respect your space, if someone cannot see it from your point of view, it is not worth it. I'm glad, Foxy. What can a boundary be? So, I've set boundaries in the stream multiple times. What can a boundary be? What is a good example of a boundary? So, I used to, and it's still something. No, yeah, I used to have the boundary. Well, struggle with setting the boundary of, um, hmm. I can't think of an example for the life of me right now. Even though it's more so because I'm overthinking it at this point. So, a boundary. Let's just say, um, let's say that okay, yeah, let's say that I don't like to repeat myself. So if someone asks me to go out to eat, and I say no, at that point on, no is a complete sentence, because I shouldn't have to repeat myself. I shouldn't have to do anything, because I've made what it is that I want clear. The moment someone is just like, "Oh no, come on," even though it's harmless, in their mind it's harmless, at that point you're trying to peer pressure me into doing something that you know I don't want to do. So if that at that point is not respecting my boundaries, and at that point we're gonna have some issues. We're gonna have a confrontation and a conversation right in that moment, because you're not gonna make me feel bad about not being peer pressured. Someone trying to peer pressure me is like, I do, like, that's the thing. I don't understand peer pressure, because it's just like, if I say something, I'm not repeating myself. I'm like, if I say it and you continue on pushing it, like, screw the peer, whatever it is that you're trying to peer pressure me, and we're gonna square up, because it's just like, that's the thing. The number one thing that's like my number one pet peeve is disrespect. And you're not respecting me, you're not respecting my thoughts or opinions or feelings, and most importantly feelings, when you're disregarding what it is I'm saying by trying to push your, what it is that you want onto me. You know, you're valuing your wants and needs and desires over my feelings, and I don't respond well to that. I do not. In my younger days, I used to be extremely cutting. I would go for the throat all the time. Nowadays, the block button is my favorite button, and I just will cut people off the moment, like, they just will not respect me. But yeah. Yep, if you can't laugh out loud with people, it's just like, people are so afraid of losing people, and it's just like, I would rather, honestly, I'd rather just be by myself than be around people who don't respect my boundaries, who don't consider my feelings, because that's just miserable. That's just a miserable life. I used to be around people, I used to spend all my energy on people that was never like an equal give and take. Do I believe crystals and stones have healing properties? Yeah. I mean, do I have a... I wish I would have... I don't know where... Y'all like how I just, like, look around my bed for crystals? I have plenty of crystals, but I have one crystal that I've had since I was 9 years old. That's the oldest thing that I've owned in my house. But, I do... I do believe that they have their own healing vibration, but I like to view it more in, like, a passive way. I don't actively, like, hold a crystal to, like that. Like, I'm looking around as if I don't have crystals on my table. Like this lapis, for example. I enjoy lapis purely for the aesthetic of it and just how it feels, right? Lapis is known for helping you with your throat chakra, right? Lapis is known to creative pursuits and be able to just speak with the vision. Y'all watch some of my videos. I always have lapis around me and I struggle with my words half the time. I'm not speaking with no vision. I guess I kind of am, but it's one of those things of where I function off of everything having like a sense of energy, right? So even like this deck of cards, I feel like has like its own energy. And while I can't pinpoint and be like, okay, yeah, this energy feels like this, feels like that, feels like whatever. I feel like energy kind of is one, like crystals and energy all is translated in different ways through each person's unique filter. So while some people can have this lapis around them and be like, oh yeah, like my throat chakra feels so open with it, I am of the belief system like that's partially because of like the filters that they have in their mind for however they choose to believe in crystals and energy and just their understanding of it and that whole range. Whereas for me, this type of stuff is one of those things that, yeah, I don't know, it's just more of like a passive thing because I've just never experienced like holding like a crystal and being like I'm not gonna hold like the selenite, for example. I'm not gonna hold this selenite and be like, wow, I feel instantly cleansed. I'm not gonna be able to like hold this selenite for a day and be like, wow, like all the bad vibes are gone. Like I don't feel it like that. I don't see it instantly hit. I don't experience it instantly hitting me. I like to just keep crystals in my space that make me feel good in the sense of where it's like I feel good in looking at them. I feel good and where it's just like, um, I don't know. It's one of those things of just like it just is one of those just I just like to it's I don't know. You know how you just get will get weird attachment to things. That's kind of how crystals are to me. Where it's just like it doesn't matter how big or small it is. If I like it, I like it. Like this tourmaline here, it's one of my freaking favorites ever. One of my favorite stones, and there's nothing special about it. This is probably like 50 cents, if that. You could probably get it for a quarter if you really wanted to, right? Nothing special about it, but there's something about it that is just like it's my homie. It is completely my homie, and I can't explain why. It's just one of those things that just feels. It feels a certain type of way. What kind of music do you listen to? Favorite artists? I like to listen to. Good night. Hello and good night. I like to listen to a lot of different things. So recently I've been listening to Blue October, Fleetwood Mac, Florence and the Machines, Ariana Grande, Megan Thee Stallion. Like it's such a mixture. Like my play, I know everyone says it, but it's like my playlist ranges from like music from like the 20s, country. Like there's not a single genre that I don't like, and there's not a single time period of something that I don't have in my phone. But I would say, let's see what my most. It's honestly like Megan Thee Stallion probably is my most played right now, honestly. Do I have advice? I'm glad, Arsa. That's always like that's always my goal. That's the one compliment throughout the years I've always gotten, no matter who it is that I'm around, is that once I enter a room, I think it's because like my ultimate goal is to be cozy. Like that's my number one priority. Wherever I am, I'm being cozy. Like if I walk into a room, the first thing I'm doing is looking around and seeing where I can sit, because it's like I like to be, I like to be cozy. So anywhere that I'm chilling at, it's kind of because it's like that's like my goal in being cozy. It's like I'm gonna force everyone else on an energetic level to match my coziness. Back to the wall in a corner. I guess it depends on where. Like my sort of thing is where like, because like back to the wall and stuff like implies like a. I mean that's how I am when I'm sleeping and stuff. I like to just be secure, but it's more so just like I say sitting, but it's more like if I can just like lounge out, right? Because I'm 6'1", 6'2". So it's just like I like to just be lounged out in some type of way, and it can be in the middle of the floor. Listen, I've been when I was younger. I've been to plenty of parties where I was just laying in the middle of the floor, and everyone had to walk around me because it's just like I'm gonna be where I'm gonna be, and you can like figure it out. 27 people, why not 27 likes? That's what I'm saying, right? But Foxy Fox asked, "Do you have any advice on how to let go of a toxic person who pressures you and treats you not right, regardless what you say, although you feel you can't let them go?" It's kind of at that point, it's like you put it in perspective. Why do you want to like somebody, or why do you want to talk to somebody that isn't respecting you? I'll use myself as an example. Let's use a real life example right now, what it is I'm currently going through. Because I was talking to one of my friends earlier, because I was like I was in the process of getting in my head about it. But, there's like this person who I swear we'd be such good friends. We would be such good friends, I feel like, in my head, just because it's like, like, and I will very rarely will have this. The last time I had it was in high school with my still now best friend, Iris. Um, like when I saw her in high school, I like instantly gravitated to her. I was like, "You're gonna be my friend." Like, and initially she just was not feeling me at all, naturally, because I was like a little weirdo when I first got to high school, and so like for a while she was just like. I say mean, but she kind of just like brushed me off. But it was just like because I had such a strong feelings, like you're gonna be like you're my person. Um, we ended up like I forced my way into the friendship, and she ended up warming herself up to me. But I had that experience, and I guess I still currently deal with that experience with somebody else, where it's just like this individual. I'm just like, man, like we would be such good friends if you gave it a chance. And I've been like dealing with it off and on for months now. I even did a video on it at one point, but I'm not going to talk about it because I don't know if they would see this video or not. I doubt it. But like yeah, I wanted to. Let's wrap that up. So basically, it would be very on and off, right? I'd like send them a message, not very responsive unless it was like talking about themselves, and even now just like would just very breadcrumby, like send me a message, send me a couple of messages, and mind you, this is not in like a romantic way or anything like that, it's just trying to be friends. Send me a message once in a while, and then just like hear nothing for like weeks, if not over a month. And so this happened again for like the fourth or fifth time, and it's just like it's at a point now where it's like, why do I want to be like, why do I care so much about being friends with someone that doesn't value my energy? If I have to convince someone to be my friend, I don't want to be their friend, because it's like I think I'm a good person, I think I'm pretty fun to be around, or at least the very least just enjoyable. So it's at the very least, if this individual doesn't want to be my friend but can't even respect me or my time enough to not respond to me, or like, you know what I mean, not breadcrumby, or not just be like not responsive and not apologize for it after, that sort of thing. It's like I don't actually want that, so it's one of those things, Foxy, that of where I say, if you struggle with letting go of a toxic person, my question is, why do you feel like the behaviors that this toxic person is good enough for you? Because it shouldn't be good enough for you. You're able to acknowledge that like this person pressures you and treats you not right. Why do you want that person in your life still? You can still have like this person, like the person that I still want to be friends with, right? I may deep down be like, man, we still am, like we would be such a good, like we would be best friends. I know for a fact we would be best friends if they gave it a chance. And I can still feel that, but the thing is, like, I put myself first, and it's just like, you know what? Even if they like were to wake up tomorrow and be like, have a change of heart. It's one of those things where it's just like, I shouldn't have to convince you to treat me right. I shouldn't have to tell you something that you should naturally have going on in your own brain. And if I have to tell you it, then it's just like you don't think of me in that kind of way. And it's not, it's fine. It's not personal, right? Hello, Nina. You know, that's the thing too. It's like, it's not personal. This, this guy that's messaging, well, that isn't messaging me rather, that I think we'd be such good friends, it has nothing to do with me. He just doesn't want to message me, right? He just doesn't feel drawn to talking to me. So it's not like a insult of my character. He just like in his reality, his like priority in terms of like who he's going to message, I'm just down there. And so it's like, while there's nothing inherently bad about me that he doesn't want to message me about, presumably, maybe he could just hate my guts. But you know, it's just one of those like priority things. I'm just not that kind of priority for him. It's one of those like, one of those things you just have to accept, that some people just aren't, you can't convince someone to see you in a way that you feel like you should be seen. You should only be around people that can see you in the way that you truly feel seen, because even if you make the connection work, it's not going to be for a long time. I always say friendship should not be stressful. And if you have a friendship that's making you insecure, that's making you doubt yourself, that's not a really good friendship in my eyes, because it's like, and with the actual good friendships that I have, there's not been a single time that I've had to really worry about them. I've never had to overthink things with them, because it's just like, I give them the benefit of the doubt and they give me the benefit of the doubt. So what that means is like, you know, open communication, you know, giving each other positive regard, being able to enter, like respecting each other's time, you know, being, you know, it's all, it's those very, it's very small things that you don't really take into account until you're like, you look at it from an outside perspective and you look at it analytically and you treat it like bullet points. That doesn't mean that you can't have friends that challenge you, but that's the thing, like, let's take it this way, like, we're friends, right? If I challenged you on something and I was just like, you shouldn't probably do that, the way I approach it would be respectful and loving, because I respect you and I love you. If I were to approach it from a condescending way, why am I feeling condescending towards you in the first place? And you should feel comfortable enough in communicating with me that you feel as if I'm being condescending, because you should feel comfortable enough in our friendship to feel like I wouldn't intentionally try to be condescending towards you, right? It's just one of those multi-layered things where it's like, you kind of have to be bold enough to be okay with wanting more of a friendship and not feeling weird for it, because I take my friendships extremely seriously. And a lot of people don't. A lot of people will just go with friendships that they feel like they're deserving of, which may not be high if they don't think they deserve that much, or just like they don't think in that level. That's something that always like blew me away with one of the friends I used to be friends with, is that they could not comprehend not being friend, like they asked a question to me one time. It's like, could you see yourself being friends with someone that you didn't get along with? And it was a genuine question. I just can't, I don't know, it's just, it's, I can't fathom it. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's one of those, it's, you have to think about, regardless of who it is. I don't care if you're family, I don't care if you're friends, I don't care if I've known you for 10 years or 10 months or 10 weeks, 10 hours. You're going to treat me in the same amount of respect that I've been treating you. The moment you disrespect me, the moment you disregard my feelings in whatever kind of way, we're handling it then and there. We're going to talk about it, because this is the thing too. I always say, is like, I'm taking this in this way. If someone were to offend me, speak rude to me, I'd be like, I always will say, I know this wasn't your intention, but I'm taking this message in this way. And if they choose to argue with it, or they choose to shade me for it, or they choose to respond in any type of way that isn't being like, that's not my intention. Like, you know, it's what I don't know. I'm an extremely confrontational person, but I think most people are not. And a lot of people are afraid of confrontation, sadly, when I feel like confrontation doesn't have to be inherently bad. Confrontation is only inherently bad when one or both sides are coming at it from a place of aggression. When I always am coming from confrontation of just being like, laying my cards out on the table in a literal sense, right? And being like, this is how I'm feeling. What are you feeling? What are your intentions, right? The best thing you can always do is ask an individual straight up. If you don't know anything else, just be like, what are you like, what is your intention behind this connection? Like, what is your intention behind this conversation? That's something I had to do with my dad the other day. The other week, we're having like a discussion, and he started trying to get personal, and like he wasn't, I don't think he realized he was being personal, so I flat out asked him, because he started to piss me off, frankly. I was like, you're disrespecting me. What are you hoping to get from this conversation right now? Because this is what I'm getting out of it right now. You're being disrespectful, you're being rude to me, yada yada yada. What are you trying to get out of this? He spoke his point of view. He understood, like, well, he may not have understood like why I felt disrespected, but it's one, like, the question of what are you hoping to get from this conversation, what are you hoping to get from this interaction, is such a disarming thing that allows people to take a moment to step out. And that's usually enough time for people to realize that, like, there's just like like most fights come from miscommunication. Right? Most fights just come from miscommunication. And if you just take enough of a moment to be like, wait a minute, let me put my own ego to the side for a moment and be like, it's just like, let me not just assume that someone's trying to attack me, right? Let me just assume that this person is trying to communicate in their way, and there's just like a whatever. I always expect that, like, I give everyone the benefit of the doubt until they prove otherwise. And if I can't give them the benefit of the doubt anymore, then I can't be friends with you anymore, because it's like, I can't respect you. Then it just serves, like, then like resentment built, like, it's just such a messy thing, right? If I keep you in my life, I have such a high respect for you. And assuming that we can keep in good open communication. All right. I know Nina asked, what's my sun sign is technically my sun sign a Libra Scorpio cusp, or my sun sign would be a Libra. I think it's my sun sign would still technically be a Libra Scorpio cusp. Yeah, you should never have to convince someone that you're not a bad person. If someone can't see you for you without you saying that you're not a bad person, they don't see you for as like the person that you see yourself as, and you shouldn't be friends with them either. Like, if someone can't see you for the real you, then it's just like they see you behind some type of facade, and it's just like, why continue on with that? Communication is key, and that's a thing, Foxy. It's like, if I can't communicate with you, I can't be friends with you. That's just like me being blunt. And so I can't, I really am not trying to sound dismissive in this way, but it's just like, I truly cannot comprehend being with someone. Like, I will never argue a case. I will never convince someone to communicate with me. I will say, I give them a heads up and be like, I need you to communicate with me. And after, like, I don't give second chances in that regard, because it's like, I'm telling you, it's like, what it is that I'm feeling. You shouldn't need a second chance to know that, like, you shouldn't need a second chance in knowing not to hurt me if I'm telling you the first time that you're being hurtful, or I tell you I'm feeling suppressed. If I say it that first time, why do you need a second chance? Like, I'm sorry. Like, if I slap you the first time and you say not to slap me, and I can slap, does that mean I can slap you again and be like, oh, I need a second chance? Like, no, of course I don't need. Like, you shouldn't need. Like, there's certain, like, people need to realize that it's just like, you shouldn't have to tell people how to just like treat someone. How to give someone the proper respect. If you can't communicate with the parent, see, again, keep in mind, you guys, Keisha, like, it doesn't matter how, like, with me in my life, I've lived most of my life by myself. Like, I have never even sat and thought about the amount of years where it's just like, even now more so. It wasn't until like this last year, more so the last few months, where it's like, this is the first time that I've felt, this is the first time in my life that my family has actually, parts of my family, right? I don't even talk to one side of my family, but, and I say parts of my family, like, two members of my family, actually speaking to me as like an individual and with respect. Before then, like, I just did not, because like how I was and how, like, nowadays, we're like, being a boy that wears makeup and all that stuff is a lot more normal. But it's just like, I didn't care who you were. Like, if like, I was the kind of person that gives an ultimatum without an ultimatum. If you didn't respect me, if you didn't like what I was, I'm just not talking to you. I don't care who it is. I don't care if you're family or not. Like, I don't, like, I just don't care. Like, I would rather be by myself. And that's why I've been by myself for so many years, where it's just like, I don't have any, like, because it's just like, I will not allow someone to just be disrespectful towards me. I will not allow someone to make me feel lesser than, because it's like, at that point, it's one of those things of being like, would you invite like someone in your house to slap you? You wouldn't. So it's like, why would I invite someone to make me feel bad about myself? I already struggle with depression and anxiety with my own head. I don't need to invite other energies to make it worse. Mm-mm. Have I worked any... You don't need to see... You, Keisha, at that point, then you ask the question, why do you feel guilty and sad for wanting to be treated with respect, right? Take the emotion out of it, always put it in perspective. Why are you feeling this way? And you just like, when you put it in the perspective, like when you're not asking for a lot and just being asked to be seen as a human being, as a daughter, as a son, as a child, as someone's kid, you're not asking for a lot. And so if they cannot provide that to you, you need to be okay with saying, it's like, you know what? Nothing to do with me, but I need more. Right? And some people, they don't know how to appreciate you until they, you know, some people just take you for granted and assume they can treat you any type of way. And sometimes they need that space and realizing that they can't, right? Talking about boundaries. You gotta set the boundaries on people. Have I ever worked with deities that helps me with confidence and setting boundaries and self-love? I would say in terms of self-love, it'd be Lord Rossier, for those that are comfortable with working with demons. I'm pointing right there because that's his sigil. I think I can show off his sigil on my arm as well. Y'all, look at my unworked out arm. Let me show off my non-existent bicep now. So this... So this is... Right here is Rossier's sigil. He is the one I've probably worked with the most exclusively. And then if we go up here, this will be the first time Lilith's sigil is displayed. Ugh. Oh, just this, all these muscles trying to pull this shirt long sleeve back so I can show you. Ugh. No. And then that would be Lilith's sigil. And so I would say both of those would be really good in terms of if you're open to connecting with darker energies. If you're open to working with lighter energies, I mean, I'm gonna suggest Thoth, but I wouldn't consider him like a lighter energy. I would consider him pretty neutral. A lighter energy, Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael's a really good one. Archangel Michael. Who else? Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel's a really good one. Yeah. Yeah, my sigil's on my arm. So these two are two different deities. The other ones, oh, this one is Azazel. I always struggle trying to show off this tattoo. This one is Azazel's right here and his N. And then this one, this one, this one are all just like different entities that aren't known that have their sigil and N untattooed. Good night, Lucy. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I feel like, well, obviously most people only know me on here now as like tarot reader, but yeah, and especially with how I present myself, I don't think I've ever really spoken from a place of trying to educate people, but I have a pretty good, pretty long history when it comes to spiritual practices. I'm not really familiar with the titles and all that. I've never paid attention to titles and categorizations and all that. But, yeah. Hello, Carissa. Here for a live reading. I know I said I would be doing live readings, but I might just do, like... I'm enjoying just being able to hang out with you guys. So I might just only do, like, a general reading, if I'm gonna be honest. Which I might do soon, because I do need to, like, do some more recordings. Oh yeah, I've never asked y'all. What did y'all eat? Like, it's been 8 hours since my last live stream. Did y'all eat anything? You know, what is up? Tell me the tea. Hello, Unknown Rose. You're inspiring me on how much you post. I've been watching. Necro Nikki, thank you. I'm kind of insecure. That's like honestly my biggest insecurity is how much I upload because I feel bad for people who subscribe to me because it's like I acknowledge that my content isn't just like a global, like all my subscribers can just enjoy the content, right? It's kind of pigeonholed into zodiac signs. So I feel bad because I end up like spamming people's like sub box and like notifications with content that they don't get to enjoy that much, right? But it is like eventually like long-term planning for my channel. I do whenever I'm able to support myself through YouTube and all of that, I want to be able to get my own place, and through my own place, then I would be able to do a lot more content that's more personalized outside of tarot. I still want to do a lot of tarot videos, but I want to also because like I'm a child of YouTube. I said it in my other live stream. I've watched Trisha Paytas on YouTube for like 12 years, 10 to 12 years, a long time, like 12 years. And like I love, because it's like I appreciate her humor. Like I love that kind of content. Like I love being able to feel personal with somebody, right? And that's kind of like Trisha's content. So I would love to do like sit down and chats with like be able to just like live stream like me like my dinners and stuff whenever I do eating. Live stream my dinner. I guess I'm live streaming my dinners now when I'm drinking Red Bulls, right? But being able to just do like I don't know. I just want to be able to do more personalized stuff so it's not just tarot, because I want everyone to be able to enjoy stuff on my channel, and I want to be able to like not be viewed as just like as someone that just reads your cards, because I'm a personality too. I am a human. I'm a human too. Acai bowl, chicken and veggies, hot tea. That sounds good. Ground turkey with zucchini. Ooh, Nina. Come on, that sounds good. Hi, Shane. Goldfish cracker. That sounds good too. Fried. What is smell? Spaghetti and Caesar salad. Is that like some type of melt? You're subscribed to 700. Wow. See, I guess maybe I'm just not that subscribed to enough people. You ate white rice, mac and cheese, tomato stew, all mixed. Ooh, that sounds good. A little Snickers and it, huh? Yeah, I know, like, I guess it's one of those things where it's like, I would like to be able to have, I just completely zoned out. It's just one of those things of where it's like I'm always constantly thinking about. That's really what my brain is constantly thinking about what I want to like. First and foremost, like I really just want to like invest in stuff to be able to just like make the content better. Like the stuff behind, like I hate y'all, I hate my background so much. I know it's probably something that no one else thinks about, but it's like I ideally would be able to just like have like a nice, like the vision I have in my head for what I want things. I wouldn't want like a dramatic like giant table and a bunch of like crystals and like no. It's still gonna probably be like something cozy, but it'd just be like very like matching like my aesthetic, right? Which is like very like minimalistic kind of, and just like kind of mono or duo monochromatic, so it'd just be like having just like a nice like cozy background where it doesn't look like it's just shoveled, right? Be able to like have like a different like camera setup so y'all can see the cards on the table and not just me, because that's something that I wish I could have you guys be able to see more often rather than me having to hold it up for a few moments for you to see it, right? I just think of stuff that like I'm more excited to grow just so I can like do like the same content that I do now but better, and be able to just like find a way to like create weekly like personalized content outside of readings. Chicken and chocolate. They're like fresh sardines. See, I don't like seafood. Do you sell your rune sets? Yeah, Shane, if y'all Shane, post your Etsy shop. Y'all, if y'all have any like y'all feel free to do your promo in my chat. Just as long as you're not obnoxious about it, right? Don't spam it, right? But during these live streams, if you have like a side hustle in your Etsy or whatever, I don't care if you do your promo on there. That's what it is now, but the amount of work that I would take, Nikki, it just isn't worth the time investment. Like, for me to just like, well, no, that's not true. If I were to like have to stop to show you guys the cards, or like if I were to like angle it, you wouldn't be able to see me, which I feel like would, not that there's anything against a YouTuber that doesn't show their face, but like I think it's extremely important, at least for what I do, for you to see me. I feel like if y'all couldn't see me, then I wouldn't do content, just because it's like it doesn't feel personal at that point. So it's like being able to have like a proper table and setup. It's more so like if this table itself was higher, then it would be fine, right? If this table was higher, if the background was a little, like, if y'all saw my back setup, y'all would be in disbelief of how, like, what my setup like everything is, right? But yeah, it's one of those things where I've tried everything in the world to make it all work, but yeah, I'm sorry, I got like distracted. So actually, you know what, you guys? I know I said that I was just going to do a general reading, but if you guys, in the chat right now, put, I more so want to just, actually, I'm sorry, I'm struggling with what oops. Let me take a moment to reset. Let me know in the chat now, you guys, for everyone that's waiting for a reading, let me know in the chat right now. And I'll start doing some readings. We'll make this a longer live stream. Great Q&A. Yeah, sometime I really I really want to do Keisha, that's funny you say that. Motivational speeches. I really at some point, if I were to do like a big old plan of like what I want to do in like 5 years, is I want to be like some type of spiritual life coach of some type, or more so be in terms of like a motivational speaker. Even though like y'all watch any of my videos and you're just like, why would you can't speak, right? With the amount of like I do not sound like, I don't know what it is. It's always when I turn on a camera, I struggle with speaking. Like, I swear you guys, like, I can speak properly and clearly. It's just, I think it's because it's like I try to speak so quickly that it happens. But yeah, I really would it's more so like my ultimate goal is just to be able to like make people not feel alone. So I feel like if I can like have as much of a reach as possible to just like make people not feel alone, even whether it's like formatted into a speech or if I'm just on YouTube for 50 years, like I just want to be able to I just want to be able to give people what I would want, what I wish I had when I was younger, where I just felt extremely alone and stuff. So being able to just like show people a way of like optimism, and that is like realist, right? Because I'm an extreme optimist, but I feel like the way that my message comes across, because I'm an extremely optimist person, it comes from a balanced place. Because it would be different if I was just like, oh yeah, like everything's good, da 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 da, never experienced a trauma in my life. But here's the things, like, no, I've broken down on camera, I'm super messy in terms of like how like overtly open, right? But I do it for a couple of reasons. One, because it's just nice to get it out. But two, it's one of those things, like kind of how I talked about with the spiritual people, spiritual gurus and stuff, where it's just like, if only you knew the behind the curtains with how all these people are just the same and think the same as you. Everyone feels like all these feelings, but no one talks about it because everyone's so ashamed of it, because there was like a time in internet culture, and it still is, of where it's just like you're always on the defense. You're always like kind of, everyone's tensed, everyone's walking around eggshells with each other, you know? It's just like everyone is so used to feeling like everyone's out to get them and coming from a place of defense. And it just is, I want to be able to like unarm people and unarm people and show people that it's like you can be normal and still, and like deal with trauma and a lot of crap, but still be hopeful, right? I want to make people feel hopeful, at the very least feel hopeful and feel yeah. So yeah, that was a long way of me saying I would like to be a motivational speaker, but I want to be, I don't want to pigeonhole myself into like a motivational speaker or a spiritual life guru. I just want to be a person that makes you feel good in whatever capacity that looks like. All right. I'm gonna, like, while I'm looking at these comments real quick, I'm gonna. That's the thing too. That's why I got my name SimplyVelca, because it's just one of those things of where I was like, it's just me. The way I speak, the way it's just, it's very simple, right? All right, let me see. All right, Nina said she wants an update with her Gemini. I'm gonna do these. I'm gonna do a rapid fire of these, you guys, just so I can. But Nina asked what's up with her Gemini. Now, Nina, I'm going to function off the sense that you guys are not speaking that often, at the very least, in terms of this message. But I'm going to, just how my tarot is, I will just explain how the message represents, and you can correlate it. So you and your Gemini. Oh, more so just your Gemini. So your Gemini has Ten of Swords coming in, Five of Wands in the reverse, which I'm going to hold upright just so you can see it, and the Fool card. So they're kind of being careless right now. This is kind of like a chaotic energy. I don't know if it's a chaotic good or chaotic bad. Dare I say chaotic bad, just because it's like the Fool is the representation of, y'all, some of y'all know the Fool is my favorite card, so I'm always biased in it, so you know it's bad if I'm saying, if I'm hesitant on it. But the Fool is someone that's kind of like, it is like that chaotic good, but when you have, because it's like they're not, the Fool isn't overthinking things, they're just going with what feels good to them. But when you have this Ten of Swords coming in, it's one of those things where it's like this chaotic good, original chaotic good energy is being tainted with this Ten of Swords energy, and where it's like they're really in their head about something. And because they're in their head about something, this Five of Wands usually is like the representation of collecting a good group of good people around you. And when this is in the reverse, this is kind of an energy of someone that's not lashing out, but disconnecting. They're taking themselves, they're not hermiting, what's the word? Isolating themselves. So it seems like your Gemini is just currently going through some type of mental struggle right now. Something that's really, it's one of those things where it's just like, let's just continue on with myself as an example. Oh, hold up. Slate said it's 11:11, y'all. I don't care where you are in this house, in Simply Velca's house, when we see a repeating number, no matter the time zone, baby, we do a wish. It's 11:11. Y'all don't talk to me for a moment. Okay. Y'all think I'm playing games. I take my wishes seriously. I don't care. I don't care. It's a good thing I don't drive anymore, because it's like if I saw 11:11 in the car and I was driving, I would be like, hold the traffic. Okay. Hopefully that was helpful for you, Nina. Could you pull one for my husband and I, Brandy? Both Taurus. All right, 2 cards came out. I'm going to pull this one. So your side of things, we have the queen. Well, I don't want to do sides, actually. Queen of Swords, so this is going to just more so be a collective for you, Brandy. Queen of Swords, the Moon card, and the Page of Wands. I feel like this is kind of like an energy where someone's handling something that's revealed to them. They're not handling stress in a really good way. Something caused some stress in them with this Moon card being revealed to them, and it's kind of leaving them a little bit more tense. Page of Wands, this may be just like the energy of someone being asked of what it is you need to strive to, but I kind of feels like someone's seeing, like, this moon is like the overall theme of where it's like something is bringing somebody some stress, and being like the unknown is bringing stress, or some type of news is bringing stress to somebody. That's the Queen of Swords, and it's kind of stressing them out. Page of Wands, I feel like it's the other one where they're just like, okay, kind of seeing like the balance side of it, being like, what it would lead to, because pages represents the start of a new beginning. Page of Wands is my laptop almost fell. I'm Page of Wands is the representation of like a new, kind of just being like, okay, this is like the new obstacle almost. So what I would say, let's pull an animal card as the advice for this. Yeah. And then after this one, I'm going to catch up in chat real quick. Thank you guys, by the way, so much for hanging out with me tonight. I really am appreciative for you guys to do it. And if you haven't already, I'm going to be obnoxious for a moment and ask you guys to give me a like on this live stream. Just to, you know, just give me a little bit of love. Just give me like, just a little quick little like. I understand it's not, no one thinks about it initially. I don't do it for my own videos 99% of the time. So, mountain goat. So this is what I was talking about. You know how I talked about that word? I brought up the word, Brandy, talking about the balance of things. So this mountain goat talks about there's something out of balance in your life, so do whatever you need to do to correct it. So it's more so whoever's feeling this Queen of Swords energy needs to kind of adopt more of this Page of Wands energy of being like, okay, even if it's something that's trash, that's slur, dealing with the trash situation, see what it's opening you up to. Even if it's at the very least being able to just, you know, I said this to a friend once, when you're able to get the shit beaten out of you and still look up in the universe, look up at the sky, look at the universe while you're getting the shit beaten out of you and still say thank you for this experience, that is when you've accomplished enlightenment, because then you realize you're not taking it personally that you're getting the shit beaten out of you, because you see that you getting the shit beaten out of you is trying to teach you something. You're not making it about yourself at that point. You're realizing that it's part of a bigger picture, right? So whenever you're feeling stressed, whenever you're feeling anxious, it's because you're not able to get the shit beaten out of you and look up and say thank you. And that's kind of something I've always strived to do in my, like, that's something I've really strived to do in my life in the past couple of years, is whether it's someone beating, like someone literally, not literally beating the shit out of me. I wish someone would be trying to. This little sword here, I'll be cutting somebody. But like, it's in that concept, Brandy, of being able to just go with the flow of things a little bit. Jack clove, clove oil. Clove oil is a really good one for a toothache. My ex is... Alright. Thank you, Ania, for calling me handsome. I always appreciate it. Y'all see something in me that I guess I just don't see in myself. I never think that I'm unattractive, but I don't think I'm attractive either. I always say, I think I'm just interesting to look at. And interesting isn't bad or good, right? It's just one of those people that you just kind of like, I think I am one of those kind of people that you will just stare at, but not for any type of reason other than just being interesting looking, right? So I always appreciate the compliments. I don't need your birthday for the readings. Keisha, I'm going to be doing now. Capricorn, is my Capricorn male any good for you? I'll do that. Actually, I don't feel like doing this deck. Yeah, I did get my nails done. The thing I would probably change with my nails next time is that everything on the nail is matte, like the black and the red tips of it. What I would probably change next time is to keep the black matte, but have the tips be shiny instead of matte, so it just look more severe. It would look like I have like, I don't know, like blood or something edgy, right? I guess it's more so like this is where I'm colorblind, right? Where I can't really tell that much that they're black. Like, it kind of like blends in to me, for me. So it's just like, it isn't obvious enough for me. The tips look shiny. See, y'all, y'all think I'm playing games when I say I'm colorblind. If you notice with anything, no one probably has ever noticed, but like one of the main reasons why I'm like, I will dress monochromatic, like if I'm wearing like blue, everything's blue. And that's just because it's like if colors are similar in any type of way, I can't see the difference in them. So it's just like I'll pick a color and I'll dedicate to it, and it's like, nope, we're not doing nothing else. We're not gonna complementary colors. Nope. Or if I'm doing a makeup look, I will never. It's always like either the same color, or it's like drastic differences. So it'd be like a blue and a gold, or like a blue and a red. Like I don't. So it's always like very drastic color differences that I can clearly see. Like I don't even wear blush. Well, I don't wear foundation or anything anyways. But like I don't wear blush for the very fact that like until I would have to apply a bunch of blush where I would be looking like a clown, more of a clown than I always do when I wear makeup. But like I would be like in order for me to see blush, I need to have like blush to see it. So, yeah. Oh yeah, Keisha. Oh yeah, I said I didn't want to do that deck for Keisha. I'm gonna whip out the Necronomicon deck for you, Keisha. All right, Keisha. So the Moon card came out for you again. So the Moon card came out in the other deck, and I was kind of like tilted my head at it, and I was like, I don't know if it's meant for you. We have the Moon card coming in with the Seven of Cups, coming in with the Six of Swords. Now, this is where I'm going to preface, Keisha, where this is purely only for perspective and how I'm taking the literal message of it. So don't treat this as a reality. If like I have no problems in saying that I could be wrong, right? I don't want anyone to ever make big life decisions off of what I'm offering, right? It's so hi Ravi. So with this, right, with that disclaimer, right, what I'm getting from this is that this is where I'm like uncomfortable like talking about it, because it's just like I don't want people to like have some like kind of looming news like in their head about something when I can't confirm. But let's just base this off of, if you are not just assuming, Keisha, right? Let's just agree to just like at least agree to say that like you won't take it to heart, and this is more so like a potential perspective, something for you to like maybe start paying attention to see if there's sign. That's what I would say. Take this as like a sign to see, like take this as a way of being like, okay, let me see if this is valid or not. You want to go from a place of trying to function of proving me wrong. This is something being like a heads up, being like, okay, do I need to pay attention to these red flags or don't I, sort of thing. Don't treat this as a reality. Y'all see how much I care about just not instilling a bunch of negativity. It's not that I want to tell you good things. It's just more so of that I only want to tell you good things, rather. It's just more of like I don't want people to ever treat what I do as like a reality that will induce more anxiety in them. Like, I guess I just want people to just view it and like view my readings in the analytical way that I view them. Hello. Have a good night. So yeah, long disclaimer for all that. I'm like, this moon card talks about something being hidden, right? Something being hidden from the light. Seven of Cups talks about, this is Seven of Cups, yeah, Seven of Cups talks about options, right? Someone has a lot of options. And then the Six of Swords is a misdealings. So what I would take from this is like, and this doesn't have to mean like like I know some people would just be like, oh, cheating, third party or whatever. What I'm saying in this is that, and I feel like this can be relevant to anyone really. Well, no, I'm not gonna say that. What I'm getting from this is that there is something that it's almost like choices are not being brought to light. It's almost like something is not being spoken of. It's one of those things that being like, how would I put this as an example? It would be like having someone in your life that you're ashamed of, that you wouldn't want to have someone that you care about be aware that they exist, right? So what example can I say that doesn't just sound like sleazy? You know, let's just say like with like a mother, right? If they don't have a good relationship with their mother, and like they don't just because of how they treat people, right? They would want to keep that person hidden. Well, no, I guess I can't use that with the Seven of Cups. I guess this is me trying so hard not to make it seem like in a way where it's just like it seems like this person has some dealings with other people. That's really where like I'm trying so hard to making it not seem like it, but I can't. So I would say, Keisha, just take this as a perspective of like start paying attention more. Read his text messages, check his email. Don't do that. I mean, if you can, sis. No, honestly though, this seems like it just is like there's some type of energy of something, just some type of like dynamic with other people that he doesn't want to have seen. So what I would say, just get that perspective of seeing like if it's a valid thing. If like, you know, because if they're just like if they're just sitting at home every single day, then that's completely wrong, right? I would love to be wrong in that regard. Uh, all right. You're so beautiful. You're literally glowing. I appreciate it, coffee. What is going on with my Scorpio? He is my twin. Is he my twin flame? His name is Art. We have a baby on the way. What are my pronouns? So you can call me he, she, they, them, it, ill, whatever you want to call me. I am going to be the easiest person that you can ever speak to because I'm not going to ever be offended by whatever you want to call me because I am a very confusing individual, right? But if you were to ask what I identify as a man. I'm sorry, Keisha. I'm really sorry. All right, Shayna, what is going on with your Scorpio? I don't think you're stupid for loving him, right? You're not stupid for having emotions. You're not stupid for being human. You can't help other people not being ready, right? Never take it. Don't blame yourself for someone else just not being ready, right? It has nothing to do with when someone is cheating. It has nothing to do with you, and it has something to do with them trying to fill something in themselves, right? One can assume. But yeah, I'm sorry, Keisha. All right, for Shayna, what is going on with the twin flame? So, Ten of Cups, Ten of Discs. With your twin flame, Shayna, what's going on with your Scorpio? Like, they seem to have, like, long term in their mind, Ten of Discs and Ten of Cups, right? Like, they want stability. They want that fulfillment in terms of, like, finances and in terms of family. Like, Ten of Cups is, like, the best family and card there is. When Eight of Wands comes forward, this might be an insecurity in themselves and feeling like they may not be able to provide, right? Like, or they're feeling not worthy of this Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Cups energy. That's what it is. It's where it's just like they want this. This is their intention, but they like something is in their head about where they feel like they're not good enough for that, good enough to be able to provide for that. They may just be getting spooking themselves out. All right, can everyone that's waiting for a reading still let me know in the chat right now? I have a Belial pick a card, Shane. I think for the SNS channel, I think I'm going to be doing them bi-weekly on that channel just because it feels like when I do them every week on the SNS channel, or maybe not so much, I don't think it has much to do with how often I do it, but it's just like it feels as if I've had the most, I guess I'll say this. The left-handed path community has been like the least accepting of me than anything I've experienced community-wise. It feels as if like the left-handed path is extremely racist and homophobic towards me, or more so, because it's like I speak from a way where I just disengage people's egos. I don't engage with people's egos at all, and I will speak from a place of everyone being equal. A lot of people in the left-handed path don't like to function in that way. All right, Huma Khan. Also correct me if I'm not pronouncing your name, please. Virgo man, Aries woman. But yeah, I think it's for the SNS one. I'm gonna just start doing them bi-weekly because not that the comments bother me, but it's just like one of those things of just being like, okay, like so many of y'all are just being rude to me. Like, do I need to like put in a bunch of work for y'all to just be rude to me, sort of thing? You know, and I know it's not all left-handed people, right? But it's like when you put yourself out on YouTube in that kind of way, um, and especially when you're dealing with deities and stuff, people are just so protective when it comes to like deity messages. So it's like if I give any type of like not criticism, but like a firm hand in terms of like, you know, like if I did like a reading with Lucifer, I did one with Lucifer, right? But like if their deity like was chastising them in some level through the cards, if they weren't ready to put their ego to the side or what have you, they'll just lash out. Or if like I'm speaking in a way that's not to their whatever, then it's just such a touchy, like I just don't have, it's more along the lines I don't have patience for egos of the left-handed path. So it's like I don't want to like overexpose myself. Wasn't there somebody that I said I was gonna? Humakan. Feelings for me. Miss me. Should you approach this Virgo man? I want to say this is not the right time for you, Huma. I wouldn't. I'm gonna just speak in terms of like if what I would do. So you have Ten of Swords, which was inverted, and then a Knave of Swords. I don't see this as being a good time because it's like this person is, how would I word this? You know when someone's put on the defense or like they are kind of like freaking out so they just lash out more? Like they're hurt by something so they just start lashing out. They don't know how to react to something so they just start lashing out. I feel like they're kind of in that energy right now, so they're not really in this ace of like to connect. But with this ace of discs coming in, it's letting me know there might be potential at some point in the future. Just right now, you would be signing yourself up for some rudeness, it feels. Will the Virgo and I reconcile? I appreciate that, Shayna. I really do enjoy doing, I really do enjoy doing like each of the deities, the deity messages. I just gonna have to more so figure out a different approach to doing it for that channel, or I might just do like my own version on this channel. I don't know yet, but the demon messages are definitely still gonna be there for SNS. It's more of like how often. I made it just after like may just needed like just this break during this week. I may just go back to doing them weekly again, but yeah. I hope it was helpful for you though, Huma. Armoni, I understand that that's just what your interest is right now, but if I'm going to be honest, I don't really want to do tarot for something like that. It's more like, yeah, that's not something I would want to just do a message on more so. Adriana, what is going on with my connection with Taurus X? Let's do it. So they're going through some type of pain. They have Three of Swords coming in, Knave of Wands coming in, where I feel like they're feeling trapped in some sense of the word, and Ace of Cups coming in inverted for you. They're going through some type of pain right now. Adriana. They're going through some type of pain. This could be dealing with you. They could be being, because you did say X, they could be dealing with some type of pain from the separation from you, but they are going through some type of pain and they are feeling like isolated right now with this Knave of Wands. It's like they're feeling isolated or trapped or cornered. It's just like they feel alone right now, currently. Ida E. Will the Virgo and I reconcile? The Norse Pagan Society would love it if you did it for Norse gods. I really genuinely want to do messages for like ideal, like I started doing them for like pick cards, which I'm not going to ever do anymore because they were just so much work for little payout. And I just couldn't get as detailed as I wanted to. But I really, at some point in the future, want to have like a whole, like I want to, because like that's the basis of my spiritual foundation for like over 15 years now. It's where it's like, I like, the basis of my spirituality is like connecting with different beings. So it's like connecting with the Egyptians, connecting with the Greeks, connecting with all these different energy sources. I would love to be able to have playlists for each of the deities and like their readings with them. All right. Virgo and I reconcile. All right, Ida E. So, all your cards came out in the reverse, so it's not really looking this way. 10 of discs, 7 of discs being inverted. So with this, it's like there's not going to be any type of stability energy going on here. 7 of discs being inverted. This is usually like the investments card. This is letting you know it's not worth your investments to unstable energy. 9 of Cups being inverted as well shows that it doesn't seem like they're actively pursuing you, Ida. I'm sorry. Do you do tarot teachings? I'm a tarot reader, but I want to know more. Brianna, I want to, at some point, this is again, like, this is where I more so just have to make the time for it. I want to just have like a video series where it's just like so for like, I want to like at some point have like a video dedicated for each deck that I use. So like I would have like a deck for the Necronomicon and like go through the process of being like, this is how I process, because like how I process messages in each one, while there is like a Harmony, I'm gonna get you gone. Anyways, as I was saying, that's the only like speaking of boundaries, my boundary is when someone just spams my chat with asking for a reading and doesn't treat me like speak into the chat and interact in the chat and just like that's where it's just like that's not where the purpose of it. If you want a reading so badly, just either donate, like pay me, or just go to, I've uploaded over 100 videos this month. Like just there's so many options. It's so unnecessary to just spam me especially when we're having conversations. Especially when I just said that for Armani. I just told her that I wasn't comfortable with that. Now that I'm thinking about it, God bless. Like, I really am such a patient person because I do understand everyone wants a reading. So when like, don't feel self-conscious in like putting your message out there. But I always will just like ask people when I need everyone to just repeat your message. When I ask you to repeat your message, that's when you are more than welcome to say it again. But like, I want it, like, spamming it just like ruins the dialogue and just makes this not a hangout and more of like me just providing a service, right? Which I guess I technically am. But on that note, can y'all repeat or send me a post in the chat what question you have? Yeah, I very much so I don't go with any type of belief system just because I believe all belief systems, there's a truth to it, but it's like all someone's truth, right? The Bible is written off of someone's perspective. Demonology book based off of someone's perspective. Like every single spiritual book out there, it's not like these deities are writing it down themselves. They're not coming into the earthly realms and writing down their story. it's all based off of someone's perspective, and this goes back to what I like my thinking of before, where it's just like no one's perspective is any better than another person's. You can be inspired and like learn from someone's experiences, but it's just like one of those things where it's just, I don't know. I will go to books and stuff to be inspired, but I never will treat it as fact. Even when it comes to like the factoids that you will hear about each of the deities, like with Rossier. People have plenty of information on Rossier that I don't agree with, or more so, like it doesn't make sense or align with my experiences with him. But I wouldn't have known about his existence in the first place if I wasn't open to someone's experiences and writings in the first place. So I don't discredit writings at all. It's just more of like a, I'm not going to treat anything by the like by the be the law, because it's like there's not a single person in this world that's written down like like no one has like the greatest gauge of, or like the biggest gauge of, what is the word I'm trying to say? Like no one is 110% accurate, and no one can, like we're all filtering messages through our own unique filter of energies. You're just reading someone's perspective. You just got cards and you're so happy. I would suggest reading the meanings of each of the cards and then finding a deck if it's that not that deck. Finding a deck more so that you resonate with the imagery on. Because imagery is a huge part, at least for me, in terms of relaying a reading message. And also getting out of your head. The more you're out of your head, because a lot of people don't think of themselves as like intuitive readers, because it's like they will limit the things that will come through going on. Like usually, especially if you're giving a reading to somebody, 9 times out of 10, there's some type of influence that's assisting in that message. If I'm giving a reading to Natasha, for example, even if I'm not consciously connecting with her spirit guide, someone on her and some spiritual realm is connecting to relay the messages that they need to through tarot. So it's like they're actively communicating with you, giving you impressions, giving you, whenever I'm connecting to someone, there's like your senses are all involved. And it's just a matter of like how in tune are you with yourself and your own normal feelings and natural whatever, and able to differentiate that and not second guess what it is that you're feeling. I give an example. I was giving a private reading to somebody and I kept seeing the image of, or it wasn't an image because it was like, I guess like a clip in my brain of seeing like this older woman making risotto. And I was like, what the hell? Like, it had nothing to do with the reading at all, but I was just like, I just eventually felt, it's normally something I wouldn't even say, but that was like one of my aha moments when I told them, because I finally just like, I don't know why, but I just see like this, like, at this point, I never considered myself, like, again, I never considered myself a medium, because I just never got into like categories like that, but whenever I said it, then that client and like their grandmother, who passed away, their favorite like it was a family favorite meal of risotto, and their grandmother had like a wonderful recipe and all that. But it's like it's those things that are just seemingly random, makes no sense at all. If you just are like brush it off, it's those details that spirit's actively feeding to you, right? It's the hardest part about giving a reading is trying to give an unfiltered, unbiased message, um, even if you don't understand the perspective. So even now, I struggle with sometimes giving messages, because it's like I'll see like a spread of where it's just like a situation. I'm just like, well, I would never put myself in this kind of scenario, right? And so it's just like it's hard to relay something that doesn't quite make sense. So then you really have to like, the more you're able to just detach yourself, the better off you're going to have a reading. But really, just the best thing you can do is like get out of your head. You'll notice with any YouTuber. I talk about Tyler's Tarot. We talked about Stargirl the Practical Witch. Go to any old reader. Music made a weird sound. Even my videos. Go to any of my old videos. You, just in the way that I speak, the way I present the cards, it's so different from how it is now, and it's just because of my comfort level and my confidence level, and that confidence level built up through various things. But I would be lying if I didn't say that YouTube built up my confidence, and it does it we're human, right? Tyler's Tarot start like all like the same thing that all of us, like every single tarot reader is on YouTube. You go to their first one, you compare it to their now, and I can guarantee you it's going to be night and day. And the only thing that, well, aside from the main thing difference is it's just like they have a better sense of self, a better sense of confidence, because they realize that they're not being crazy. They realize that what it is that they're doing resonates. So there's a sense of freedom. They stop trying to limit everything. They stop discrediting the messages that they're getting. All right. Let's see. Would you recommend then jumping in and experiencing your practice yourself is spend most time researching? I'm the kind of person that says go in. There's so many people that will gatekeep, especially when it comes to deities, which I just don't understand. I've never experienced a single deity because, again, research. This is, again, based off of someone's experience, someone's bias. If someone doesn't like drinking, if someone doesn't like, their likes and dislikes, take the Bible for example. The Bible is insanely misogynistic, and it's because the people that wrote the book didn't like women, didn't respect women. So everything based off of Christianity from their point of view is insanely misogynistic. Same thing when it comes to deities. If someone doesn't like drinking, maybe they might project that onto them. If someone doesn't like seafood, I don't like seafood. You're never gonna hear me tell you a deity likes seafood because it's never gonna be in my I'm not gonna think about offering seafood to any of them because I don't like my bias. Like at that point, my mental bias gets too in hand, and I'm okay to admit that and be like, I don't know one way or another, so I'm not gonna say it, right? So I'm only gonna say what I know, and what I know is going to be stuff that's a bias. So I've never experienced a single deity ruin my life. Everyone will put this. See, that's the thing with spirituality as well. Everyone will. The thing with spirituality, because there's no way to have like a cool kids club in terms of you have to be at this skill level to be able to talk about this or do that, right? So the only way people that are insecure can gatekeep is by these things that everyone can do, is by convincing you that it's so much spookier than it actually is, or giving this extra detail, so you feel like what they're doing is extra special, and you can't just jump into it, or whatever their storyline is. As long as you're respectful, you're never going to, in my opinion, at least in my experience, I'm not going to say never, in my experience, I've never experienced a deity or any being is coming in with good intent, experience anything bad. Hello, Tana. You can absolutely donate to ask a question if you would like. Let me actually go up and see. All right, I'm actually going to be doing Sylvan because Sylvan wanted a general. Sylvan, for you, I am Natasha. We've grown. For you, Sylvan, for this general, Hermit card's coming forward with the Fool card and this Nine of Cups. This is one of those things where it's this seems counterintuitive at first, right? With this Fool and Hermit energy, it's kind of just what is going on here? But I feel like it's one of those things you're being asked, Sylvan, to unapologetically. What's an example? Let's say tarot, right? If you had a passion for tarot, but everyone else around you just doesn't believe in tarot, they call it witchcraft, whatever, whoop-de whoop. You're being asked to, one, not internalize it, but go into doing tarot, have it be your own practice, private practice sort of thing, and don't involve other people, but still honor it, right? If you have to recluse yourself and hermit yourself so you can go with your fulfillment, go with your Nine of Cups, do that, right? That's really what this is about, where it's just whatever aspect it is that you want to do, that you feel you just have this drive for, do it, but take yourself out of the situation that would have put you in a situation where other people would try to convince you of otherwise. This is more so of a time of being blissfully unaware of other people's opinions and realities because you're just so focused on your filling up your cups, sort of thing. You donated to Cash App. Okay, sure. What is your question, Tana? Also, correct me if I'm not pronouncing your name properly. Can you tell me who the man I marry... Like your... I hope that was helpful for you though, Sylvan. The man that you want will be... Like you're wanting details on what they're like, Tana? Because I can do that. But I don't know if I can tell you like a specific name. I can't, and in fact, I know I can't do that. Like, are you wanting like what kind of detail are you wanting for? I guess is what I'm saying, Tina. You sure you believe I'm gonna be on TV or something really huge? Why am I saying to that? Like, I need to think about it. Honestly, my full circle moment, I will have such a joy being able to... One, I would love to have a sitcom. I feel like I would be such a good sitcom actor. But that aside, that's just like a funny thing I want to do. But genuinely, I will just be extremely happy. Honestly, even if I weren't to be on television and I just had like a thriving YouTube channel, I would be extremely happy in that, because what I always wanted was just to be able to just connect with people at any time. And the fact that I'm able to do that now just makes me so happy and so grateful. So it's just like, I'm completely content just being on YouTube and just like collaborating with YouTubers, connecting with YouTubers, right? I know that's right. Brianna, you're making me think of Saweetie. Saweetie always says, I know that's right. Velka's gonna turn into Cleo if it gets any more famous. What does that mean? No, no name, just like who the kind of person is if I met them. Okay, yeah. I just wanted to make sure before I pulled some cards, Tina, that I was gonna be answering your question. Aw, Shayna, that makes me happy. My goal is to be able to be like when you go to a fast food restaurant and like, like fast food restaurants, just their sodas hit so much better than anywhere else. So when you just take that first sip of Sprite or that first sip of like Diet Coke from a fast food restaurant, like a McDonald's, baby, it just like, you can't help but go, after. That's what I strive to have my energy be. Whereas like after you hang out with me, after you have a reading by me, it's just like that. I don't know why I breathe during that, but yeah. Oh, Miss Cleo, yeah, her girl's never lying. Call 1-800 now. Listen, I would love that. I would get my ultimate life. If I could show... that is a career goal of mine. If I could be on, like, you turn on your TV at 3 o'clock in the morning and you just see me there being like, what's up? What's up? You want some cars, baby? What's up? I would get my ultimate life from that. I would be so ridiculous. I would be so ridiculous. All right, let me get into Tana's reading. So she's wanting detail on her mans. Okay, this is a good face, by the way. I'm more aware of it now, like, aware that y'all can see my face. Whenever I'm, like, in the process of readings, I don't think about the camera being on. I'm just, like, processing the message, so I end up making a face. Yeah, Foxy, you can donate if you would like a question. She got Clark. Oh, lucky. I would be slanging cards. I would be slanging cards and... Listen, I can do and say what I want on television too. I just might have to go to that late night, right? Every my stuff is on the bio, so including the cards that I use as well. For everyone always asks, well, not everyone always asks. For those that ever ask, oh, no need to be bad, Jack. It was more so of a joke. I'm. TV would actually be extremely limiting for my personality, just because y'all haven't seen it quite yet, but my personality can. I'm pretty raunchy. I have a pretty dark sense of humor. If you go to my Twitter, you'll see it. But yeah, my donation and stuff is in my bio. So my PayPal and my, I think it's Cash App. I think that's what it is. But yeah, Tana, for you, your person, we have the Emperor card paired with the Eight of Wands. I do, whenever this Eight of Wands comes forward, I always associate this with someone that is um, business oriented in some way. They're more hands on with their business. So um, with this being with the Emperor card, I do kind of feel like they're successfully self-employed because of it, because the Eight of Wands is someone who's kind of more hands-on with whatever it is that they're doing. So I wouldn't normally see this type of Eight of Wands card for someone's career if they are like a waiter somewhere, which I would love. That's like such a random thing I would love to do at some point in my life. I really so badly want to be a waiter. I so badly want to be a waiter, like so badly. But yeah, it's that kind of energy. So you wouldn't get this card normally if you're like a waiter or something. With this type of dynamic, it's like this person's hands on with something elevated. King of Cups as well, so it's very high energy. King of Cups with the Star card. Continuing on with like the reaching big, higher goals, right? With that Star card. King of Cups comes in. This is like, I always say King of Cups is the kind of individual that is they're not very expressionate with their emotions. They're the kind of people that are just like um they're the kind of people that are like how do you say it? Like, and I've used the example before, where it's like if I were to be the King of Cups, rather, let's say I'm the King of Cups, I would be the kind of person that's not gonna say I love you vocally, audibly. I'd be the kind of person that's like has like a love language of like buying a gift, or just one of those people that would be like, oh, it should go without saying, of course I love you. Why do you need me to hear why do you need to hear me say I love you? So they're a little bit more reserved in a sense, but when you have it paired with the Star card, this is kind of like someone that's like reserved on the outside, but like it's still like extremely passionate, because it's like they're still functioning off of like dreams and aspirations of some sort. If this is like a, they're not just all about business, what I'm saying, right? If they're all about business, we would see some pentacle cards in here where it's heavy business, but it's like this under, like with the water card, I say water as I hold up the wand card. The wand card, they're passionate in some type of way. Cups card coming in where they're still in touch with their emotions a little bit. They're just not outwardly showing it. But with the Star card coming in, this is a beautiful balance in that it shows you that they function off of that way. They're just not necessarily open about it. So you have into your third row, we have the Tower card and the Moon card. So I feel like this is more so how you guys meet up. I feel like something happens in their life that causes a shake in their foundation a little bit, or causes like like, because if I'm gonna be honest with this kind of energy, it seems like they're in a world of their own. They're in a world of their own of, you know, they're in like their own. Why did I look around as if that's gonna give me an answer? They're in a world of their own in the sense of where like whatever their business is doing. So let's just say tarot. They're doing tarot, for example, and they're just in the tarot communities. Let's say I'm that King of Cups. Let's just say, let's continue using me as an example. I'm that King of Cups, so it's just like I'm in my own world. I'm talking to different tarot readers. I'm talking to Tyler's tarot, because it'd be like on that level of success, right? Where it's just like own their own business and stuff. So you're only talking to like, I'm only talking to other tarot readers that like Stargo, people who are also like extremely well off. That's the way I can start using the examples, right? I can use other tarot readers and stuff. So it'd be someone in that level, right? But something happens, and it doesn't necessarily have to be bad, where it's like their bubble is like popped, where they realize that there's like other people around. Like they don't have to just date people in their in their, what is that, Carl, in their industry, right? So something makes the, like, something happens where their bubble is popped, and that's when you come in, and where it's just like, oh, I didn't know people like this existed, sort of thing. Hope that was helpful for you though, Tina. I like what this overall reading did give though. Goat worshiper. Yeah, Shane, I have a hoodie from VK Johannem called I Curse Rapist. I've worn that shirt out a couple times before. All right. You Foxy Fox, you donated to my PayPal. Should I keep in contact with the man I'm talking the past months with? He's a Libra. Okay, so off of just because I can answer this partially just because I know what's going on with Libra, just because I'm half Libra, if you haven't heard it enough. No, with Libras right now, I can, and this is not part of the reading, just like the energy. With Libras right now, Libras are going through some type of adjustment period. And this is not me just from my own readings. This is also from other people that I watch as well. It's kind of been the overall theme of what's going on astrologically with Libras right now, I'm pretty sure. Of where, if you're feeling like it's like, this is something you have to watch for. If a Libra is going through something right now, they're going to be so distracted with themselves right now where it kind of be an emotional vacuum. So I'm not saying that's what they are right now. I'm more so like bringing this into your awareness right now of, if you are sinking, if it's like that Six of Pentacles energy where it just feels like you're putting in a lot more and not receiving anything, it's probably because the Libra is going through something right now currently, because they're in some weird transitional phase. So that's just something I wanted to like give you a heads up. You get some insider information behind a Libra. Ridiculous. But yeah, let's continue on with this. Let's see. Should you keep in contact? Y'all can get a real-time experience of how much I just don't enjoy giving a certain type of news. Okay. How do I shape this? I'm saying. Alright. So let's break this down a little bit. We have 5 of air. I'm going to read off the card and what it says. An unwise choice. Learn what you can from the situation and review everyone's motives. Sounds spooky, right? That was my reaction as well. And then I wanted to pull cards from various decks just to get an affirmation of it. So we go into deeper. Why is it an unwise choice? We pulled these 2 cards. We have the 3 of Swords with the Queen of the Coins. I feel like this is kind of going back to what I was suggesting before in like the heads up, where it's just kind of like, I don't feel like they would be able to give you this stability right now. I feel like if you were to try, not to say that they're going to hurt you, right? But it's like if you were to try to get any type of foundation with them right now, it feels like they're too self-involved with themselves currently. Like that's what the cards are telling me, where it's like if you're trying to create it with them, that's where this pain comes in, because it's just with this Queen of Coins, they're more about like the self-pampering right now, but it doesn't even mean like pampering in that sense. They're just like, it means like they're just so focused on themselves. Then we pulled 3 clarifiers with the Necronomicon, right? Hanged Man. This is like one of those things where it's like your perspective changes, but it's just like I always like to use the example. I don't know if it's offensive or not, but I don't really care. I always use the example with the Hanged Man as like one of the witches from the Salem witch trials, right? Where it's just like the girls knew that some of them were just like being like, it was like a witch hunt just because they didn't like women. I don't know why we're talking about misogynistic people in events now, but you know, in that regard, where it's just like some of the women, even though they knew they weren't witches, they committed to that. They like realized that they can't change their mind, so it's like they committed to the role, right? And so I kind of associate with the Hanged Man, where it's just like, especially paired with the Three of Swords, it's kind of like your perspective changes through some type of like, some type of discomfort. Because the other card that talks about change perspective would be the World card. And the World card is more so like the inherently, like, the World card's more passive in the perspective, more of like the mental, whereas the Hanged Man, you're kind of forced to have a different perspective because you're being hung on, you know, like, that sounds so dramatic and like aggressive. Two of Wands, Eight of Cups. This is kind of, I feel like, a reading for you. These cards are, ugh, I'm trying not to burp on camera. These cards, or loud rather, these cards, I feel like it's where you're being asked to search a little bit further. Because it's like you, as the Two of Wands, you are looking out in the distance. I don't know if you can tell with this. And then with this Eight of Cups, you are the one holding the cup, wanting your cup to be filled, and you don't realize that the person's like right behind you. So this is kind of giving me a foreshadowing where this person is kind of close to you. Like, the person that you are meant to connect with is close to you. That Velka's never gonna be a pro poker player. Yeah, no. I do not I do not hide my emotions are not hidden in my face at all. My eyes and my face, I do not make it a secret with how I'm feeling. All right, let me catch up in chat. Okay, Tina asked if it was someone new or someone you already know. Let's see. Let me get that for you. I feel like it's someone new for you, Tana. Hopefully you're still in the chat. Five of Air, again, talks about unwise choice. Eight of Water talks about the desire to move on. The World card, which is what I was talking about before, of like that passive perspective change. I feel like you get a different perspective. You get a better choice. You get better options as you increase your, have a better view of the world. Does that make sense? I don't even know what a stellium is. Mm-mm. All right. I don't think anyone else donated to me because I don't want to leave anyone that didn't donate to me out. But I might wrap up this live stream now. Oh yeah, so hello Cinematic. I think, let me give y'all, because apparently I like to just give updates of my channel on live streams. I'm planning on at some point doing a whole, like, a love series for the month, for each of the, I think I'm going to start panning my, well, no, I think I'm going to, I want to update y'all, but I don't even know what I'm thinking, apparently. I'm planning on at some point doing a single specific monthly love reading for each of the zodiac signs sometime, and I'm going to be uploading those during the week next week and try to get all those out. Because I really want to use more of Regretless Life Tarot's Oracle deck. Love Oracle deck. I love this Oracle deck so much. Like, I'm not even just saying this because, like, we're friends and she's just such a lovely woman, but it's like, this is a really, really good Oracle deck. even outside of love, I've used this oracle deck. Like, she's taken the pictures and stuff for it as well. Like, all the pictures, she designed these cards. Like, she's living the dream. I love it. She must be so fulfilled. But this is a really good oracle deck in terms of just incorporating it into your just general readings. Like, it's like she made it off of the intent of love, but it's just like the messages, and when I've used it outside of love, it just has worked so well. So I really just want to like get into the nitty gritty with it and have like a reading encompassing them. I love reading series encompassing them and really give them a spotlight, because this is such a good oracle deck. I don't know if there's tarot decks, but I have a couple of other demon ones. I have this demon deck. I don't remember where this is from though. Right, we have, what's one that's like a known demon? The Les Cartes Infernal deck. We have, what is this one? I'm finding like all the like lesser known demons. Payman, right? Like we have Payman, right? I'm not really crazy about this one, because it's like I don't really understand what it's trying to come forward. It definitely does have Belial on it. Let me find Belial for you. But this deck definitely has Belial. But it's more so I just don't understand how this deck is supposed to be used. Maybe it's more so just like for people figuring out if like who's calling to them, perhaps. Yeah, Regretless Life Tarot. That's her YouTube channel. I have it and linked down below. I also have her channel on my channel recommendations as well for people that don't already know her. But she is such a sweet woman, you guys. Regretless Life Tarot. I can't talk highly enough about her. Like she's like the type of person that you watch to have like your soul filled. Like she recharges my battery every time I watch her, because she's just such a kind woman. I'm trying to find Belial. Beelzebub. That's going to be something that's going to amuse me as my channel grows as well, is like the people who don't know me from SNS and don't know my occult practices. It's always going to be like a mess with people when they hear me just casually start talking about demons, right? I thought I could find Belial for you, but don't tell me Belial's at this beginning of this. Girl. What's her name again? Regretless Life Tarot. Y'all notice how I said it louder? I literally like looked up and I was like, as if I was shouting. One. Oh, tea with Monday. Let's go. Let's do a wish, baby. Okay. How is Belial not in here? Or how am I passing over Belial? Girl. This is gonna bother me. 10K. I honestly, like, that's my goal by the end of this month, is I really want to hit 10K by the end of this year. I set that goal for myself last as my New Year's resolution, this beginning of this year. Like, I really wanted to hit 10K. And so it would be really cool if I hit it. Like, that would be such a full circle moment for me if I got to 10K. I'm really not finding Belial, and I know he's in here for a fact. Belphegor. And it's gonna drive me crazy if I don't find him. It doesn't help that my cards are back and forth as well. They're not organized, which usually I don't like at all. I can't find him. I know he's probably in this deck somewhere, though. All right. All right. All right, you guys. I think I'm going to close this reading out so I can start doing more recordings. I'm probably going to be uploading throughout the night. Also, before I close this reading out, can y'all let me know if do you like, and this is not a bait question at all. If any of you guys have notifications on for my channel, do you still just get like 3 notifications when I upload 3 videos in like the same minute? Can you guys let me know that? Like, do you still just get do you get a notification for each upload I do regardless of how in quick succession they are? And if you don't know, it's completely okay. You get one for all of them? Oh, so you only get like, so you get one for the whole package, or you just get you get one for each? Like you get one for each? Oh. I'm so sorry, you guys. I have been like timing it because I thought if I did them like in quick succession that y'all want to get spammed. Aw, I mean, I guess I can't help it, but I guess now I can just start uploading them. I guess it's more so, well, no, I don't want to be obnoxious. I would rather just give y'all notifications at once rather than like progressively. It's one of those things. It's more just because it's like right now is if I once I do produce other content that's just like all my subs can see me, or all my subs can enjoy. That's when I won't mind. It's just like I always just feel bad giving a bunch of uploading like 6 times a day, 4 to 6 times a day, giving notifications for them all. I feel that, Natasha. All right. Thank you guys for letting me know. That's always something I'm always in my head about. I'm always curious about that. Yeah, I think I really want to do, I guess maybe that just shows how much in my head I am about it. Maybe I'm just assuming that no one cares. But, yeah, that's always something I was in my head about. But, I guess now that I know that y'all just get the notifications anyways, no matter what I do, it gives me a sense of freedom and just uploading whenever. All right. So I'm going to close this out, you guys. But yeah, as I was saying, I think I'm going to be, even outside of December, I'm going to be doing live streams, like daily live streams like this, even outside of December, because I really enjoy doing this. I really enjoy doing live streams. All right, you guys. So I'm going to be doing also, I don't want to promise it, right? But I think my intent is to do another afternoon stream tomorrow, like I did today, as well as the evening one in my 8 p.m. But like always, you always can expect me at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for the live streams during this month. If not, then it's more so like pay attention to my community tab if I say that I won't be able to do a live stream. But I always will update you all guys. But you can kind of just always expect me on, why am I shuffling? Expect me at 8 p.m. during this month. Pacific. But I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. This is my longest live, no, it's not my longest live stream, I don't think, but this is like honestly my most fun live stream. I love you guys so much. This is thank you. Y'all have a beautiful night or morning or afternoon wherever you guys are. And that awkward moment again where I say bye and I have to close it out.